So from the title of the video, you would already notice that I am coming, or I will be talking about single life. Yes, single life. This is kind of a tricky topic most singles wouldn't want to talk about, or most people in general wouldn't want to talk about that, because the moment you start talking about single life, sometimes it gets misconstrued or miscommunicated as you are screaming to get married, you are just nagging to get married, and sometimes it's also portrayed in a way that, oh, enjoy your single life, enjoy your single season. I am not against any of that. As a matter of truth, depending on where you are in your single life, you can decide what you want to do. But today, being a single myself, I want to talk about single life. Singleness in general isn't just a waiting room for a relationship. It's a powerful season in one's life where you can do a lot of self-discovery, a lot of self-learning, and a lot of other things that can benefit you as an individual. Now more than ever, we have a large number of people, both men and women, who are single. I think this wasn't before during the time of my parents or your parents, no matter your age or where you are in life, you may be watching this. It wasn't before in maybe last 50 years or maybe in the last 60 years before now, but recently it has become something that it's no more a surprise to see a man or a woman in their 30s, 40s, and sometimes 50s who have never been married, or there are others who have been married but due to the circumstances of life, they have re-entered, and I want to say that very loosely, they have re-entered their single life For those who have never been married like myself, there is always the pressure either from outside or inside, so maybe either from friends, from families, or even your church communities. If you are not having pressure from family, you are lucky. If you are not having pressure from friends or other people, congratulations. And there are other people who also are facing diverse volumes of pressures from all around. And I pray that God gives each and every person who is going through different forms of pressure as a result of being single the strength to be able to see them through and not make a decision based on what they think would be make their families or friends happy. As a single myself, sometimes there is also the subtle pressure or the inward pressure that we give ourselves. So this pressure can come from getting wedding invitations from friends, getting baby shower invitation from friends. Sometimes you see these invitations and you inwardly think, oh my goodness, what is happening in my life? Why am I not, I mean, you are not jealous of them or you are not anything, but the moment you receive these good news from either families or friends, you begin to question yourself, you begin to ask God questions. So there is nothing wrong in feeling that way. I tend to feel that way at times. There is nothing wrong in feeling that way, but what you decide to do for yourself and with yourself after these questions run through your mind is very, very important. I have sought to find joy in the very little things around me, and I am very deliberate on the things that bring me joy. I'm also very deliberate on the things I open my spirit to, or I allow to penetrate into my spirit, if I can say that. So for me, one of the ways I embrace this season of my life is friends, not just any kind of friend, but friends who know that I am on this journey and it's for a season, where the conversation will not constantly be reminding me, oh, you are single, so you don't know this. Oh, you are single, so you don't know how to take care of kids. Oh, you're single, so you have the advantage. You know, there are sometimes you come um into your among your friends, and all the conversations are around how lucky you are to be a single person without kids, without husbands, without anything to with sorry without anybody to cook for. And some of these conversations, although they are coming from married people, it's positioned in the way to make you feel like, oh, actually, maybe their marriage isn't the best thing, but meanwhile inwardly you may be looking at these people as your future self, as the state where you would want to be. But the way they communicate some of these things around you, it slowly shifts your perspective on marriage, and it sometimes actually dents your perspective on marriage. I like, trust me, I don't want to have these conversations. I don't want to be part of these conversations. I strongly believe that when it's my time to get married, my marriage will be different. My marriage will work. I am not saying that if anybody's marriage is not working, it's their fault or they are not loved by God. No. Even if you are facing challenges in your marriage, you still, and this I'm speaking specifically to ladies, you still have the authority, you still have power to call that marriage forth, to bring life into that marriage, to bring light into that marriage. So that is all that I want to say before I go sound like a marriage counselor. So that's all I want to say. But I have sought to find joy going to church, doing children ministry work as actively as I can. Me, this scripture always reminds me of my current state as a single person and the time I have that I can commit to God and my own personal development. I have grown so much, and I always thank God that I didn't get married. And I always thank God that I didn't get married 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or even just a year ago. In as much as all these times I felt within me that I was prepared, I was ready to get married, these opportunities of learning, reading, rediscovering myself has made me more aware than I can ever think or imagine. And the scripture in Psalm 34:37 that says that delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. Trust in him and he will do this. It always tells me that whatever desire I have in here should match what God has for me. And how do I know this? I know it from the Bible. I know what God says about me. I know who he says I am, and I have to believe it, whether I like it or not. I have to believe it. The feeling of loneliness really creeps at you, not just the idea of having a partner per se, no, but you also want to have company, not just any kind of company. I know friends who, as a result of um, avoiding to be alone or stay alone in their single season, have moved to shared living conditions, which totally made sense to me at the time, which also kind of helped me understand where we each are individually on this journey. I will not be able to do that, but I will not judge if a friend decides that, okay, as a result of the pressures, as a result of feeling lonely, I have decided to move into a shared apartment. The feeling is there sometimes, even the ways people they wish you well, they really I'm really struggling to say this in a way that I don't come off as mm, being offensive or not. I mean, people really mean well, but okay, maybe I shouldn't use the word but. People mean well, and the way they say it, usually it makes you cry. Not because they said it in a bad way, but in as much as you know behind whatever they're saying is a genuine concern for you. It's more or less like, as they say, to you it's also a reminder um of your situation that you wish may have changed. But hey, there is more to do. I cannot emphasize enough how this season has taught me so many great things. My relationship with God has grown in the last years. um I have drawn closer to God. I have been able to offer my time to the things of God more. I have also been able to be a great auntie to the children that are even around to the church community, whether it's the kids in it. I have also become a great auntie to all of these. So it's all about you finding the little joy, maybe not little, finding joys in the things that excite you. If you are called upon to offer assistance in any way, count it all joy. Do it with all alacrity as much as you can. Bring all the excitement in it and do it well. And be open to learning more about yourself. As individuals, you would never completely know yourself. And I have come to learn that I, for one, I get to know more about myself through other people. I have lived with myself for so long that the things I do, I do. I don't know if they make sense, but the things I do, and sometimes you wouldn't know whether it's wrong or right because it's just you. And for me, I also get the opportunity to talk to family a lot. So we talk a lot. So if I find that usually family is not always the kind that will slowly nudge you to tell you, hey, or maybe my family, I don't know. Or maybe they, because I kind of feel like they are used to you, you know. So even when you offend them, they there is a way they can easily rub that off. Like it wouldn't affect them. But friends, oh my goodness, friends to me have become the ways I have learned so much, so much, because you when you have good friends, you are fortunate. Some will tell you, you spoke to me this way, and when you're upset, you tend to carry that anger on everyone who is close to you. I am not the source or the cause of this anger, so I don't think I deserve to. You understand? And for me, that is one of the ways I learned to control my temper, or I learned to suppress anger. So be open to self development, be open to self awareness. There are some occasions where you would say a word or two, and instantly people's facial expression changes. You should be able to read all these cues, and it takes time. So just I can I can I can talk about self development over and over again. Be open to listening to podcasts. For me, I listen to podcasts. I listen to a lot of um, preaching, whether through podcast or also through YouTube. I do have my favorite women and men of God that I listen to all the time, whose sermons and even just by listening to their lived experiences have shaped my life so much. So, one of the ways you can go about finding joy in your single life is also finding joy through people you listen to. There are times that um, there are women of God that I listen to, and I see myself in them. I see myself when I say I see myself in them, I say that, oh, God can actually use me this way. And there are times I listen to them and I go like, oh, this is actually a direct word from God to me. So find joy either in your community, whether it's volunteering, whether it's in your church community, whether it's the things of God, find joy in them. Find joy in identifying programs that really speak to the core of who you are. It could be YouTube, it could be things you subscribe to. Find joy in them. Find joy in developing yourself. Make time to develop yourself. Make time to listen to these people. Find mentors. And don't just find mentors because you listen to that person 3 or 4 times and you think, oh, I think this person is a mentor. So you randomly reach out to the person. Most of the people we see on television are we see, let's say, the good side of them. We don't know them um, in the fullness of who they are. So if you want to find a mentor, speak to God about it, talk to God about it, and let God order your steps. My third thing would be compartmentalizing your friendships. Don't just lump all your friendships into one basket. And so, do you know who to go to when you are actually stressed and you want to rant? Do you know who to go to when you need sound biblical counsel? Do you know who to go to when all you want to do is really be you? Like, you don't really have anything to talk about. You just want to talk to friends and you talk about everything. Definitely not gossip. Definitely not gossip. We don't do gossip. So no gossip. So find friends, compartmentalize your friendships. Don't lump I mean, don't put every friend in the same basket. Yeah, just compartmentalize your friendship. I mean, I have been so blessed with friends that are now like older sisters to me that I can talk to about every and anything. I also have friends that all we do is maybe catch up on our high school life, university life, and then as you catch up, life in general comes into your conversation. Also, as you compartmentalize your friendships, don't make it too difficult for people to genuinely ask how you're doing. There are some of us as singles that it's more or less like when family or friends want to ask you, like, how are you really doing as a single person? They are afraid. They can't even ask because it's like the moment they ask it, you take a defensive position and you begin to speak like how the world speak. It's my life, is there. No, you should put yourself in a position where when loved ones want to show concern to you or for you about this state, they should be able to come to you. They should be able to ask you. I have friends that are really, really, really able to ask me, like, how are you really doing? How do you feel? I remember recently, not so long ago, I heard the news of a friend's third child, and instantly, instantly, there was this gush of sadness that came over me. Like, she's on three already, and I don't even have one. Oh, God have mercy! Like, she's on three already, and I don't even have one. There was this gush of sadness, and I wasn't. It wasn't the sadness that's like, oh God, what's my use on this earth? No, it was, and I used the word sudden, like, it was really sudden, like a 30 seconds kind of thing. And instantly, I told myself, God will give me garment of praise in place of garment of heaviness. Like, this will not take control over me. I am excited for my friend. This is a season, and we have to be excited for her. I have to be excited for her. And so I called her, and in all honesty, I was excited for her. But if I had taking too much time to brood over that sadness, to think about that sadness, to keep asking myself questions about that sadness, who know where that would have led me to. And I have come this far not to mess up, so I can't mess up. There is no occasion to mess up. There is no reason to mess up. I've come this far, and so it should be this far with glory. It should be this far with success. So yeah, sometimes you get there, sometimes yeah. And I remember I called another friend and I was like, ooh, I just heard this news and I'm like, oh my God, she's already on her third and I'm not even at a one. And this other friend is also single, but she's in her 40s and she's like, gosh, yes. When I heard it, that was how I felt too. Like, what are we doing? I'm like, it's not about what we are doing, wrong or right. It's about understanding this season where we are. So instantly, the conversation switched to encouraging ourselves with scriptures and just making fun of ourselves and where we think we would have been by now if we had ended up with yeah. So it's like, yeah, you have to compartmentalize your friends and know where each person fall and who you can count on and who you can actually call a friend. Let me know, what were you doing? For those of you that are married, what were you doing pre-marriage and post-marriage? So maybe post-marriage is not important to us, but for those of us who are not married, we would like to know, what were you doing pre-marriage? What were some of the ways you took advantage of your singleness? So, yeah, I want to hear more in the comment section. So, let a conversation start. Yeah, so thank you so much for making time with me. I hope I excited you or ignited something in you to start pursuing other things that you would have ordinarily not found it to be useful or to be something to be as something to be excited about your single life. As always, we will end with a prayer. I want my prayer to be a scripture. If you see me looking below, it's because I have my laptop and I am reading the scripture from my laptop. So my prayer today is in Isaiah 41, verse 10, and it says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Thank you. Have a blessed week. Bye.